Swaffham Prior Heat Network. Both Maggie and I are here. I'm here representing the Community Land Trust, of which I've been the chair now for about 11 years. And Maggie is the programme manager at Cambridgeshire County Council, and she's been involved, I would say, for the last 2.5 to 3 years in this project, and supporting us all the way through. So a little bit of background quickly. Swaffham Prior, which many of you know, we're just sort of north of the A14 between Cambridge and Newmarket. We've got about 300 homes, but only about 200 in the core. We have a fairly extensive conservation area, 40 plus listed homes, 45 affordable homes. We have 3 different providers in the village, mainly Sanctuary Housing Association, having taken the stock transfer from East Cambs back in the day. Cambridge Housing Society have 4 homes, and the Community Land Trust, working together with 100 Houses, have 8 homes. But effectively, we're a community not on gas. We're reliant on oil heating or more expensive options such as electric or LPG gas. So we have some assets. We have 2 pretty big parish churches within the same churchyard. Long stories why that is, but basically it's 2 parish boundaries, lots of stories why we've got that. We've got a primary school with a half-form entry that's just about limping along, a water tower. We used to have a station. We lament the loss of the station, and we have 2 windmills, one which makes flour for the local bakeries and restaurants around here, and one that now actually powers a private home. We also have a pub, which sadly is still closed. So if anybody fancies a change of heart, wants to move to the village, fancies running a pub, it's up for grabs at the moment. And they're just leaving it liquor paint at the moment. So it will be nice and clean. Next slide, please, Maggie. So the demographics of the village pretty much reflect the building age. And I would say this is fairly typical of most of the villages in East Cambs, and I'd say some of the villages in South Cambs. You have the added benefit of being a commuter area. But the demographics are such that at least half the village are 55 plus, and over a quarter are over 65. And then when it comes to building ages, actually over half are over 50 years old. A third are at least 100 years old, and a quarter, just over a quarter, are 200 years old. And that is actually quite a challenging factor when retrofitting into village scenarios. When I was on maternity leave, the second time, I decided that the village was going to die out. We'd be a village of old people. The school wouldn't be sustaining for my own kids. And actually, no young person would want to buy in a village on oil. So we built 8 homes for the community, 2 bungalows, and the rest were family accommodation, which released some family homes in the village, and also meant that some long-term legacy families could stay in the village and actually protect our community. And that's our Community Land Trust on the left before we start works, and they're the homes delivered on the right. Next slide, please. And then all of our homes that we built, the 8 homes, were all on air source heat pumps with solar in the roof. And this is Mary enjoying her bungalow. And it goes to show that actually we've had happy tenants in there for the last 8 years now, and air source heat pumps can work in most new homes. And also similarly for old people, they have had no problems transitioning to air source heat pumps, and say it's easy and a lot less problematic than being on oil. Next slide, please. So long story short, we've only got 10 minutes, but the project brief from the village evolved. But myself, Mike, and another couple of the directors for the Community Land Trust, we decided we didn't want to get involved at the weekends doing like putting in wood chip into a boiler. We didn't want to be burning anything, and actually our ambitions grew as we went through. So no barriers to entry, every single person in the village could join, not burning anything, and always to be cheaper than oil. So the project brief evolved, and basically we said we want to operate and maintain a heat network which was 0 carbon, or as close as we could get to 0 carbon, in order to serve the entire village. And I liken it a little bit to the wheelie bin analogy. So there's a thing in our village that nobody puts the wheelie bins out before until about 4 o'clock before midday, and God forbid that the wheelie bin is still out after midday on the day that the collections happen. And it's that collective kind of view to get people to all join and nudge them into actually doing something to their homes, because those that could afford to probably could, but not everybody was doing anything to their home. And we need to encourage everybody to actually look at their life and make a change.
Okay, so is that over to me now, Emma? Thank you. Yeah, so there was this project brief to get the community off oil. The Community Then Trust had done quite a lot of work on the development of the brief, and then they approached the County Council because we had access to government funding to take it forward. And the County Council has some big ambitions to not only tackle climate change, but also the challenges in nature. So we've got a climate action plan and strategy. We've got a local energy investment unit, and that's the team I'm part of. We've got large energy investment projects. We've built large solar farms. There's a solar park being built currently at Babraham Park and Ride. We've got an ambition to decarbonise all of our council buildings, which we've got quite a number of, and we're also looking at decarbonising all of the schools across Cambridgeshire. We've got economic and investment models. We are trying to tackle nature and biodiversity, and we've got innovative project investment such as this one in Swaffham Prior. And we do a lot of partnership working, not just with our district councils and with other organisations such as Anglian Water and the Combined Authority, but we do this collaboration that we've got between ourselves, the Community Land Trust, and our partner organisation, Boygs Energy Services, who we've contracted with through our framework contract to deliver the Swaffham Prior Heat Network. So you're probably thinking, what is the Swaffham Prior Heat Network? Because of the village and the demographics of the village and the type of housing in the village, we couldn't just build the retrofit air source heat pumps because they wouldn't deliver at the right temperature, particularly of the age of the buildings, like Emma said. So we've got an energy centre on a piece of farmland that is owned by the Cambridge County Council, and that energy centre delivers and produces heat through a series of ground source heat pumps, about 108 of them on a borehole field. The air source heat pumps and some auxiliary other electro boilers as backup to produce the heat, which is pumped through the village through a series of network pipes in the public highway. And those are teed off, and then they would deliver heat to individual properties. So this is a picture of the energy centre. As you can see, there's 4 electro boilers, and in the building there, that is where all the heat is generated. Well, the heat goes through and then it goes into the village, and I don't know if you can see on the bottom right hand corner, that's all the air source heat pumps. The next picture, we had the boreholes. They had massive machines digging boreholes, some 200 meters deep, and you can see to the right, that's the network of all the boreholes, and the pipework is goes to the energy centre where all the heat is. So the boreholes deliver the heat in the wintertime, and the air source heat pumps deliver the heat in the summer. This is just some photographs of the connections. So as I said, the connections are through the main public highway, and then we've got the pipework that's delivered into the individual property. So if you can see on the very far left, that's one of the heat network pipes that comes from the energy centre down the road to deliver heat to the village. The next picture over is an actual installation into a property, and you can see how they've laid it back down. You can even tell that there was a pipe there. And the second last picture is where the pipework goes into the house, and then there's another picture there of the heat interface unit, which is basically the unit that replaces their boiler. These are some other images of another installation in the village, and I just wanted to give some other images of the external installations, because they have to dig up the path and relay the path and re-tarmac, and the quality of the reinstatements is to such a high quality. And as Emma said, there are some challenges. Quite a few grade 2 listed buildings with some really nice cobblestone steps that has to be reinstated. So where we are now with the project is we're currently, as Emma said, there's 200 properties in the core. We're looking to hopefully over the next 5 years, connect up about 280 to 290 residents in the village and properties in the village. So far, we've completed 76 pipework installations. That's from the main heat network pipe from the road into individual properties. And out of that, we've got 36 customers completely now connected to the heat network and receiving heat and hot water. That is in the midst of having a total committed customers of 128. That includes private customers and the 50 social housing customers. So overall, the whole project will deliver net zero heating and hot water. It'll save over 1,000 tons of carbon annually and will be reducing the oil deliveries in the village. And sorry, I've just kind of lost my train of thought there. So this is a pioneering project. As I said, it's the first of its kind in the UK. And we have other projects out there that are looking to look at what we're doing and to see if they can do the same and take their communities off oil. And that's it. And that's our contact details. And that's it. Thank you.